What's going on, America? This is Kevin from Kevin's Corner. So let I get this straight. You come from one of the worst places in Africa. I have a friend who used to live in Sierra Leone, and she talked about the Congo and she talked about the diamond trade, and she told me how they would kill people in such a heinous way. She said that sometimes they would throw babies down meat grinders. She said that they would come into a village and have the young boys kill their fathers and their mothers so that they would be loyal to the militia or whatever, the warlord or whoever he was. She said that they would ask the middle-aged men, do you want short sleeve or long sleeve? Not meant, we're going to cut your arms off. We just want to know if you want them cut off here or down at the wrist. Horrible place. Had to flee the country because, you know, threats of being killed her father, and he was in politics, had to kill him, and then she fled the country. Now, with that being said, you come to America, only been here a few years, buy into the propaganda that the left has been pushing. Don't know nothing about the culture. Haven't been here long enough to understand how American politics works and how the Democrats have been manipulating the emotions of Americans that've been here for years. And yet you've been here a few years and you become susceptible to that type of manipulation. You would think that this woman who climbed the Statue of Liberty like King Kong would understand manipulation, considering how many governments in Africa manipulate the system. But yet she has the nerve to go up the side of the Statue of Liberty, put people at risk to go up and get her. Then, not to mention, all of the Americans that were supposed to go visit the Statue of Liberty, they're now inconvenienced. People risking their lives to go up there and get your butt off of there. I wonder what would have happened if they would have said, you know what, everybody, let's pack it up, let's go home, let's leave her up there, let's see how long she stays. Once the missed meal cramps would have set in, hunger pains, once thirst start, when she couldn't get a drop of water in her mouth, feels like cotton balls are in it, she would have started climbing down. You know, when people do stupid stuff like that, the question is, do you rescue them from themselves? Do you sit back and say, yes, this person has done something tremendously stupid, but they're not a stupid person, they're sane. So the question becomes, do you become the sum total of your own choices? Do we leave you up there, expose you to the elements, let the rain hit you, let the winds blow you around up there? Should we do that? But no, Americans risk their life to go up there, bring her down, and then you have the liberal media championing her. You have the Democrats and other people who she just bought into their fake phony cause, deeming her as a heroine. And I'm asking myself, why is it again that we believe that the Democratic Party and the liberal media are anti-American? Probably because of stuff like that. You know, it's kind of like you having a family member that you can argue with and talk bad about, but anybody else who comes around and has the nerve to down them, you go, whoa, 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 man. Hey, that's my cousin. I might be able to talk about him, but you can't talk about him. So somebody from another country comes here and pulls a stunt like this. Then when she's pulled in front of a camera, she just badmouths the country. Donald Trump, he's tearing the country apart. And I'm like, how would you know? Have you been here long enough to see the difference between a harmonious United States and a United States that have been torn apart, not because of Donald Trump, because his policies actually make sense and would keep the United States together. Donald Trump's the one that's talking about having some pride in your country. Donald Trump's talking about watching out for Americans first versus every other country, every other person coming in, every other world cause. He's the one talking about that. He's the one talking about fighting for each other. I believe it's the party that you climbed the Statue of Liberty for are the ones who's dividing the country when they're talking about identity politics. They're talking about how black people are being disenfranchised, even though black unemployment is at the lowest it's ever been. How Mexicans who unfortunately broke the law are being punished, and that's not right. We're not supposed to punish people who break the law. The lawless party says so. You know, and what's bad about that is I don't even believe that the Democratic Party and the liberals care about even the Mexicans and the legal immigrants that have came here. You know, you never hear them talking about them. You never hear them interviewing them. Legal immigrants who said, man, you know what I did? I went down, filled out the paperwork and stood in line for a long time, paid the money, came here legally. Why aren't they putting the camera in front of them? Why aren't they saying, how do you feel about illegal immigration considering you came in the right way? Let's see what they have to say about that. Huh? How do you feel that the Democratic Party is pushing for no borders, which would just completely, you should have just waited. You should have just waited to come in, because if you would have just waited it out for the Democrats to get in power, they were going to let you in free. Do you want your money back? Are you upset at the fact that you stood in line, filled out painful paperwork, and now everybody else is just coming in the way they want to? They're just complaining, throwing a fit, and so on and so forth. How do you feel about that? Why don't they stick a mic in their face, huh? And you know, the reason that this lady did what she did and other illegal immigrants are doing what they're doing is because the Democratic Party and the liberal media are enabling them. What they're doing is they're emboldening them. They are encouraging them to be defiant. It's kind of like when two parents are bickering against each other and they're using the kid, and the kid wants to do what it wants to do, and then it comes to the father, and the father's like, man, don't listen to your mama. She ain't, why you tell her that? You know what, she keep cussing me out. You just gonna let her cuss me out? Well, it's cute and funny when you're trying to get it at mom or whoever. But then when that same child turns to you and say, man, you get the bleep out of my face. You ain't my bleeping, bleeping, bleep, bleep. And you're like, oh, how could you say that to me? Well, you're the one that taught me that behavior. And it's the same thing that happened to Nancy Pelosi, who's all of her crew have been out there encouraging illegal immigration and telling them that they have a right to come into this country and receive amnesty, a right, and all that stuff. Then, when the DACA recipients had a chance to let her have it on the mic, she was up there like, now, calm down. You know what? I'm just leaving because you guys can't talk to me this way. Well, no, they can't, Nancy, because you're the one that set them up for that. You're the one that emboldened them to come to our country illegally with their flags, have a party up on top of the wall, tell everybody they're going to tear down our system, and so on and so forth. Do you understand how bad this is for a country? Is there, name one, somebody please, name one country that we can all say, you know what, let's go to their border, invade their country, get on top of their wall or stand outside of the White House or whatever house they have in these other countries and start waving the American flag and talk about, we're going to tear down this country. We're going to make sure that all of the structure and whatever rules and regulations y'all have, we're destroying that. Yeah. And you know what? If you don't let us, you're racist. That's what you are. Yeah. You're anti-whatever, anti-American. Why is it that no other country is allowing anybody else to do that, but yet we are? Has anybody ever stopped to ask themselves that? Have any of the liberals that's running around, any of the people who've been duped to get onto the cause of this illegal immigration stuff and support knuckleheads like the lady who climbed the dang on Statue of Liberty, have any of them stopped to think about what would happen if we eliminated borders or if we eliminated ICE? Have any of them stopped to ask themselves, if nobody else is doing it, why are we doing it? I mean, have we all just become dumb here in America? It seems that almost half of our population, I won't say half, I would say a good, like 1/4 of the population have just become completely dumb. And they just buy into whatever sounds good and sounds humanitarian. People are hurting, people are dying, children. See, whenever you want people to do something, what you do is you say, children, that's it. Shut down the whole argument. But tell us how it makes sense to bring illegal immigrants over here. Does it solve any American problems? Children. Oh, I'm sorry. Or racism. That's the other one. You know, could you tell me then, how is it smart to bring 250,000 immigrants from Syria, a broken country who we can't vet? Can you tell us how that's safe for Americans? Racism. I'm sorry, I can't ask those questions because all you do is block me with racism and block me with children. Get a couple snapshots of some kids, maybe kids that are victims of it, may not. We don't know. We don't care. As long as we just throw up a couple kids, say, look at the kids. Gun control, children. That's the answer. Any of the social issues that pop up, either it's going to be children or racism. And you know what would be a great trick that just shut all that down, since the left is all about inclusion, and the left is all about acceptance and stuff like that. They don't have any rules on the left. Yeah, it's about being able to say and do whatever you want, except when you say stuff against them. But you know how they're always talking about, you know what, you can't call people a she or he. You know, people can define what they are. You can't call people black, white, or whatever. They should be able to just wake up and determine whether they're black or white. You know, we all have the freedom to do that nowadays. You are what you say you are, because there's no absolute. Everything's relative. And when you say there's no absolute, that statement itself isn't absolute, but they don't think about those things because they're not logical. And they also don't think about how all of the garbage that they're pushing into our society can come back to bite them. And you know how it could? If every single white person in America identified as black, if all of the Republicans, conservatives, everybody who is of white descent was just to say, you know what, we're all now identifying as black. What are you going to do then? Huh? What are you going to say to all of those social justice warriors who say, you can pick whatever you want to be? Now all of a sudden, what, y'all going to be internally fighting? Half of y'all saying they should be able to say what they are. And then the other half saying, no, that messes us up because, see, we can't use racism anymore. We can't use race baiting if we recognize that they chose to be black. Or how about this? What if all the men just say, you know what, I'm no longer a man. All the men in the United States, it's gender neutral. We're an it. We're not a he, a she, we're an it. So now, what happens to sexism? What happens to misogyny? What happens to all that? You can't call me a misogynist. You can't call me a sexist. I'm not even a he. I'm an it. Yeah, see, that's when it backfires. Then you're going to have them in there talking about, this is crazy. That guy right there, he, no. See, now I'm offended because you just called me a guy and I'm not a guy. I'm an it. Okay, see, yeah, regardless. Hey, I fired that lady, but you know what? So what? It's not misogyny. It's not sexism because I'm not even a man. I'm an it. They don't even think about stuff like that because it seems like the last 20 years or so, the Democratic Party have allowed a lot of Americans to completely lose their mind. And I think they like it like that because then they can just push any garbage out there. People will buy into it. And the next thing you know, they're on top of the Statue of Liberty. That's my take on it. You've been listening to Kevin and Kevin's Corner. I tell you, sometimes I watch this stuff on TV and I'm going, who is falling for this stuff? I'm going to do a video on a document that came out about the plan that the Democratic Party have to just completely stay in power, get in power, and remain in power forever. I'm going to talk about that, and hopefully some people will open their eyeballs and see that they are being completely set up and manipulated to the point where you will risk your life to climb up the side of the Statue of Liberty like Donkey Kong and talk about this country is horrible. And I'm going, how would you know? You haven't even been here long enough. You haven't even bought in yet. You don't know the manipulation of the Democrats and the liberal media. You just came here and fell for it and got the nerve to be ungrateful. If you don't like it, you're always welcome to go back to the Congo. Now, that's my take on it. Check me out on Wednesday night, 7:30. Also, check me out on my Facebook page, Twitter, and feel free to join the Minorities for Trump website. That link is in the bottom. And if you want to support Kevin and Kevin's Corner, there's links to do so. All right, God bless you. See you next time in Kevin's Corner.